Hey guys, you know what? I think I just got my audio fixed. I don't think anybody was actually able to hear me. So, yep, I saw there that a young lady put on there no audio or no sound. So I got that working. Hopefully, let me know if it's working now. But basically, what I was saying is you don't want to take too much off of this because you want to keep the coloration, but you want to try and get out as much as your deep uh, scratches, or like this is an old wormhole, just because it makes it easier for sanding and aesthetically it'll look nicer. So I'm going to try and take just a little bit more off of this edge right here to clear up that. So if you're getting sound now, you're lucky because you missed all the dad jokes. So with the carbide tip, you're just taking a fraction off of it. You just basically want sawdust. Now you do have to be careful about how much you're taking down because you want to try and keep this as close together as you can, because once you fit this bowl back together or this pot back together, you want to have that as a smooth edge. Um, Not too worried about this part yet because I'll straighten this up and shape it once we get it separated. I've got a tenon on here ready to go. I've got my basic shape. Um, I got most of that out. Honestly, I might try and take just slightly more, but that's just more to make it easier for my sanding, because you can ask any woodworker. We love to sand. Said no woodworker ever. All right, I'll give you the one joke I gave over on my other video that my son told me. Um, what kind of chips do feet eat? Doritos. So there's the dad joke of the day, thanks to my 11-year-old. What kind of chips do feet eat? Doritos. Just trying to take a little tiny bit off here. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can sand a little bit that's left out of that. And for the most part, everything else is very smooth. So it'll make it much easier, save me some time. I still might have to harden this up a little bit. I might use just a little bit of CA glue on it. Quick tip. So when you put CA glue on wood, it will bleed out and try and stain around it. So one of the ways that you can fix it, if you're just doing CA glue in this one little spot right here, is I'll take just a little bit of my board butter, which is basically mineral oil and beeswax, and I'll coat it just around the outside, and that will actually keep the staining from going out past, because the CA glue will not go through that beeswax mineral oil. So when I get to the point where I'm sanding, I'll fill that and then sand it down smooth. And then the mineral oil and beeswax will sand right off. All right. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and separate this. Now, normally you could just do it with your parting tool. The problem I have with my parting tool is that it is a very thick parting tool. I don't have a thin one. And so I cheat a little bit. And again, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm going to use my bandsaw and just make a quick cut on this. And I don't have the jig to hold it in place, so I just have to be cautious and hold it because it will try and sometimes roll on you. But if you take your time and you're very careful, you can get this done. Hang on 1 second here, guys. So, as long as you take your time, you can get a pretty good cut off of it. I will have to straighten it up just a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to throw this one back on because I need to cut the tenon for this one just a little bit more. Make sure I got it mostly center. This is always partially fun. So I try to get it as close to perfect as I can. So if you see, it's still got that kind of wonky wobble in it. Getting a little closer. There we go. How's that look? Yeah, it's pretty close to dead on. So this is very soft wood. Like that sank in super easy. We're gonna straighten this up a little bit. Okay. So this is what's going to fit on part of the lid that's going to hold this in place. However, now that I've got that cleaned up, I'm going to have to reverse it. And that's why I leave this little nub here so that this can set into that and have a little bit more, but I don't want to keep pushing this in too far because I want to be able to still shape it. See how that looks. So it looks. Yeah, I think I can work with that. So the first thing I got to do is put my face mask down. All I'm going to do is flatten this out a little bit. This is really punky at the top here, which means it's soft. It has really cool spalting in it, but it's pretty soft. Okay, I think that'll be thick enough that I can attach. I'm still a little worried about the softness of it, but it's always worth taking a risk. So I'm gonna edge this around a little bit. And if you remember on this lower half, I gotta be very careful about how much I take off, because then I have to take it off on the other side also. So as I get closer down to here, I really just am taking off a little bit. And as I get up towards the top here, then I start molding it around. And you don't have to do one single sweep. You see a lot of YouTubers that they will do these big sweeping turns all in one shot. The reality is that you don't have to do that. It's better to take your time with slow, deliberate cuts than trying to do longer. I'd rather take 4 times across it to make it look right and try and do it all in one and mess up. Not saying you can't do it, but I'm a little more mundane than that, I guess. And so all I'm trying to do is just bring this around so that it has just a little turn on the top. Nothing too big. With wood turning especially, if you don't quite get what you're originally thinking, it's just a happy little change. Because at the end of the day, you can have a plan, and then all of a sudden, based on what the wood does, you come out with a whole different plan. So if you look at my video, for example, of the live that I did with the turning the platter, it didn't quite look like a platter at the end. Oop, just a little catch there. Maybe this one, take it nice and slow. And don't be afraid to check your work as you're going along. Very nice spalting in here. So I think I'm going to leave this curve, and then when I take this off, I'll actually have it just a little inset in there. But I really like that. That looks nice. Okay, so we're going to take this one off now. So I don't know if you can see that black spalting in there. I really like that. That's really nice. So this is probably going to have the same. I don't know if it goes all the way through because you can see it's kind of not on the bottom, but you do have more here. The problem is that if you think about it, you're going to be hollowing a lot of this out. So I don't know how much will stay on your wall. So, all right. I'm going to take this one off. And we're going to put it on its place here. All right. Well, guys, I have an alarm currently going off on my phone, which is telling me that we're going to have this set up, but I will have to finish this a little bit later because it's time for me to go do the dad thing. So I appreciate everybody coming and watching this, whether it's on the live or on the replay. And feel free to put anything in the comments there if you want something, idea for me to do either with turning or, hang on, I gotta shut my phone off. Either wood turning or woodworking, because I do also do a lot of regular woodworking, which is why you'll see my shop has just tons of flat wood and stuff for what I do. The newest endeavor, which I don't have any videos on because I'm just now starting out, and the first one was a little crazy, but I am getting a little bit into 3D carving. So again, any questions posted, I'll be happy to answer. Any ideas of things that you'd like to see, I'll be happy to try. But for now, we will call this good, and I'll see you on the next one.